Gala Crypto has me absolutely buzzing right now. The charts are looking super exciting. And what's been happening since the 18th of April is this steady decline towards the downside. But something extremely important is flashing on this chart. And I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about that after I've talked about a few other bits and pieces that we must know for Gala Games going forward. So do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Let's get into today's video. So guys, 2 days ago, I made a video on Stellar XLM. And in that video, I used the quote from Warren Buffett. First, there are innovators, then there are imitators, and then there are idiots. And what this basically means is the original who comes into a space inevitably will always be the best. It's like smartphones. And I use an iPhone, and I do believe it is the best smartphone. And it was the original, and there are other really good smartphones out there. But iPhone will always have the edge over the others because it was the innovator. The same goes for other crypto projects. We talk about blockchains. Ethereum was the innovator. It came up with something that never had been come up with before. And that enabled them to gain a footing in the market far beyond any other blockchain out there right now. And this means that Ethereum will remain dominant, whether you like it or not, whether there's other blockchains that have cheaper fees or are faster or whatever. And when it comes to gaming, Gala Games is the daddy of GameFi because it was the original, okay? It was the original gaming library for play-to-earn games. And I'm very excited about that because it's at the forefront in terms of what we're looking at in terms of GameFi coins right now. And why is that so exciting, I hear you ask? Well, I've brought this diagram up before, but this shows us something very exciting about what we can expect over the next few years when it comes to a play-to-earn gaming and crypto gaming in general. And it is a massive surge in the value of the GameFi space. You can see that gaming in general is expanding massively, and that's because of global development, everyone having more access to smartphones and computers and everything like that, and also the quality of games and things going up all the time. But once you get to the last couple of years, you can see that explosion where play-to-earn gaming takes much of the market away from traditional gaming. And that will incorporate a value of $67.4 billion. And what I love about Gala is it's constantly building its community. It's giving back to its community all the time. Its main focus remains on building fun and exciting games to play on its platform. It's doing what it was supposed to do in the first place, and it has been doing that throughout the bull market and now the bear market. There's always events going on all the time, such as this one, which is like May Mayhem, where there'll be extra events and stuff, Web3 gaming taking over, and there's loads of different prizes and everything like that, bringing people into the space all the time. It actually has a revenue-making model, unlike many other cryptocurrencies out there that are literally just operating on a promise. Unlike other games in crypto gaming that only have one single game, Gala Games is a much safer bet in my opinion because it has a lot of different games. If one of the games isn't so good or doesn't do so well, it's usually okay because it has more games coming out all the time, and that helps it to develop over time. Also, because it has lots of different games available, it has a much larger market to capture. But we're not just looking at gaming, we're looking at Gala film, Gala music, and moving into the Galaverse. All of this stuff comes at a time we are rapidly going to be transitioning from Web 2 into a Web 3 environment, and this is a pillar of the entertainment space. Yes, we've seen others coming in, the likes of Hello Token and things like that, and I've covered that before on this channel. But if we're looking at solid, strong investments from already well-established platforms that have relatively small market caps right now, but have been super high in the past, then we are looking at Gala as being one of the safer investments in crypto. In my opinion, obviously that's not financial advice, you need to do your own research. They've got the celebrity endorsement, they've got literally everything you need in order to have a successful hype project. And yesterday we had news from the Fed that we were going to see another little rate hike towards the upside, and we've long talked about the fact that the rate hikes were holding back cryptocurrency from absolutely exploding. But after a more dovish Q&A from Jerome Powell, it's now looking like this could be the last rate hike of the year. And that could mean that the next meeting, which happens in a month's time, will be extremely exciting. We already saw Bitcoin starting to push towards the upside again. And as we know, once we see Bitcoin and Ethereum starting to move, it's only a few weeks away that we're going to start to see the likes of Gala and everything else exploding. And we need to get in early and find the prices to buy at. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. So guys, this is a weekly chart for Gala, and you know, it's pretty unexciting. After that kind of like a bear market bottom, which, you know, for me happened around the end of the year, and literally from day one of this year, Gala took a nice big old push towards the upside, but yet it found resistance in this area here. Now, in contrast, we've seen the Bitcoin price just moving up pretty much in a straight line. Yes, there's been weeks where we've had a few pullbacks and sideways action, but you can see it's very, very heavy towards the upside. And I talk about this flow diagram before that shows you at the start, we start with Bitcoin, then we move to like Ethereum and the larger caps, and then, you know, the kind of larger caps still, but perhaps the outside of top 10 large caps, of which I would put Gala Games into that space. Now, what we're seeing on this 4-hour chart for Gala has me very, very bullish indeed. Now, we can see that this recent dip that we saw for Gala coming in down here, back around the 12th of March, would be potentially an area we would look at placing a buy zone. Now, I've mentioned this multiple times, but the more I mention it, hopefully it's going to start sinking in. And then you'll need to stop asking others about when to buy, because you're going to be absolutely on the ball with how to find buy zones. Now, if we've been coming down for a bit of time like this, what we want to look for is to go back in time and look for big bullish candles. That means big candles that are going up. And you can draw some boxes around them. Very easy, right? So we got one big candle, another one here, and another one down here. And you can see that I've drawn myself a green box at the bottom of the big candles. Okay, so we see a sideways movement. What effectively is happening here is money is flooding into the market. It comes back up, money floods into the market. It comes back up, money floods into the market. So what we need to identify is where money floods into the market, and then we can draw ourselves some nice green boxes. And okay, maybe you would say that this one's probably a bit broader because it did dip down, but somewhere around here. Now, what we can see on Gala is that this one down here, we're not anywhere near that right now. But once we drag this one across, and something very interesting shows up for us. Now, we obviously know that this is where big money, or a lot of money, was buying into the market, because we had this very big push, and then we got another very big push. Eventually, we came back into it. We got bought up very, very quickly again. And then you can see we come back into it. Now people often talk about like crypto videos about Bitcoin and Ethereum and whatever, and they're like, oh, it broke resistance or it broke support. And I want to jump to a daily chart for this because it's going to show you in more clarity what I'm actually talking about. Now, the bottom of these wicks down here represent support for Gala, where it bounced and it found support. Now, a good indicator that we could be about to see a turnaround is when something like this happens. When we get a push, and notice that the bottom of this green box is directly in line with these two. We get a push below that area, and then we push back up. This area under here represents liquidity. What it means is if I want to buy some Gala, down here, people will likely sell it to me because I can push it down, take out a load of stop losses, forces people into sells, and I can buy it up at a nice cheap price, and then slowly the price will start to recover out of that area. This is a nice key indicator. We fall below and then we get back in. That's a nice usual idea that we might see a reversal. Now, if you're not a trader and this is all a bit confusing for you, well, guys, it's very straightforward what you would need to do if you were not an experienced trader, and what I will still do when I'm buying on spot trading, okay? Buy one for one. What I can see here, we've got a buy zone. Say I've got $100 I want to put in Gala. I can put in $50 at this level. If the price falls, and this is what another drop from here would be down 17%, then I would put in another $50. And the reason I do that is because if it bounces like that, I still want exposure to Gala, so I will make some money if it does this. I won't make as much as if I put in $100, but if it pulls back all the way down here, then I've got a chance to buy in with more, and that brings down the average price I've paid. And that's great because it means that if we get down to here, then I don't have to get all the way back to here to get back in profit, but effectively I can be back in profit around here because I have an average of these two prices paid. Effectively, guys, this is what DCA, or dollar cost averaging into something, is. I hear people say DCA all the time. It's literally what it means. Right now, Gala presents us with a fantastic buy zone here. If it fails, then we're looking down to around 3 cents. Will it fail? Let's see. It obviously depends on what's going to happen with Bitcoin right this second. I think Gala actually looking pretty solid here, and we could be in for a bounce here and a run back up. Now, obviously, guys, you're like, well, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but most people would have bought up here on the hype and excitement. Now, since then, we've fallen currently around 41%. So what I can see about buying here is a much better opportunity, because now remember I said earlier that GameFi was going to be worth around $67.4 billion by 2026. Now in 2023, or halfway through 2023, and it's only 2.5 years away, and years seem to be going extremely fast right now. You can see market cap, $256 million. And what you can see that happened basically during the last bull market was that Gala Games absolutely exploded towards the upside. And back to that all-time high, you're looking at 21x from that current price. Now, the reason it's important to wait for pullbacks is if you bought the top recently, which was just a few weeks ago, you would only get a 12x up to there. You're going to miss out on 800%. So on a $100 investment, you're going to be $800 worse off. It's so much difference by waiting for those pullbacks into those buy zones. And I will continually tell you about how to use buy zones in the Telegram, which is linked down below and absolutely free. So make sure you get into that if you want to learn more about that. Now, what else we can notice as well here is the market cap 255, but the volume $136 million. This is being a heavily traded coin. And this right now indicates to me that there's a lot of buying going on in Gala. The price is starting to slip away. The original, whether you think it's better or there's other ones out there that are better or whatever, will always be stronger and better known about than pretty much everything else, because it's the original. More people know Bitcoin than know Ethereum, and many more people know Ethereum than they do Algorand. So I think realistically, this year, if all goes to plan and the Fed starts to ease off, which I think is going to happen in about a month's time, we are going to be looking towards $1 for Gala. And yes, there is opportunity to say in the future that, $2, $3 could be a thing, but the market cap fully diluted does mean that there is going to be a great deal of inflation going on with Gala. This is a very sound investment and there is a great opportunity here, but don't get overhyped with what you're seeing on YouTube from guys who might not be doing a full amount of research and understanding fully what a diluted market cap means and what the impact of that could be on the Gala price going forward. I still think if you can get a 22 to 25x out of this, you're going to be absolutely buzzing. Whether or not you can go to $2 in a proper blow off top crazy market and get a 40x, well, there's definitely possibilities for that. But right now, guys, 40x is just an insanely large return on investment, and don't underestimate it. If you're new to crypto, you're probably getting excited about these 100x and 1000x's banded around, but you shouldn't be disappointed if Gala makes it to $2. If Gala makes it to $3, then yeah, you're going to have an absolute field day. But set your targets more realistic, understand the concepts of what market cap means and fully diluted market caps and how it might affect the project's valuation going forward. If you're new to the channel, you want to learn more about Gala gaming and other cryptos I talk about on a daily basis, then subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow in another video. Bye bye.